How's it going? Can you hear me? Check, check. Hello online too. That's my mom. Oh, I like that. All right, if you know it, you can sing along. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Bring it on. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything. Everything I need.
All right. Whew. Boy, that coffee is strong today.
Yeah.
All right, welcome everybody. Good to have you here in the sanctuary. Nice to see some old friends and new faces. And welcome to those of you joining us online. My name is Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the Spiritual Director, Senior Minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. We're located in the North San Fernando Valley, which is about 40 minutes north of LAX, unless there's every other day of the week, and that's 2 hours. All right. So we laugh because we know. All right. So welcome. Our musical inspiration today is Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He's been all over the planet sharing his gift of music.
Yes, sister.
Yeah, so it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
And the wonderful Reverend Nicole Robbins. Let's give her some love. And of course, all of you as well. So happy Sunday. It's great to have you with us this morning. And so as we bring the lights down, let's take a deep, conscious breath. And release. So, and Miss Chloe is back as well. Nice to see Chloe here today. So as we just exhale and allow ourselves to release and to anchor into this moment, this eternal now moment, as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nicole lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the four noble truths in the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nicole lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names, perhaps Bonnie, and Margie, Betty, and the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our heart. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
It's with this joy-filled heart that I recognize this one light, this one flame, this one love, this eternal blessing that we are bestowed upon. And I know each and every one of us is connected to this source. We are the light, we are the love, we are the joy in the world. And I know and I declare that the service is perfectly blessed, that each and every one here has dressed up and shown up on this beautiful Sunday. And those at home are sitting in their PJs, drinking their coffee on the couch, relaxing and loving the service. I know the music inspiration is amazing. And I know Reverend Mike's words are joy-filled and playful and happy. And I know our AV, especially our internet, works perfectly. And I just know we are all here to celebrate our family, our church family, our friends. And I just say thank you for this time to be here in this wonderful community. And I just release and let go, knowing it is so, and together we say, so it is. Good morning, community. How are you today? Good. I'm wearing my little Barbie pink today. Has everyone seen the Barbie movie yet? Nails. I see some ladies showing their pink nails. So I did a whole nother talk for the service today, and it was about the Dodger game. They were down 4-7, but I figure Reverend Mike and Marcy were probably the only two people who'd be excited to hear about that talk. And when I woke up this morning, I started thinking about this book I've been reading. And all of a sudden at 7 o'clock in the morning, my talk changed. So this book is called When the Body Says No, Exploring the Stress Disease Connection by Gabor Mate, MD. Anyway, this is stuff we know. This is stuff we already know. This is stuff we're talking about. Yet I feel I need to hear it over and over and over again. And the person who told me about it, I was talking about surgeries I had as a baby. As many of you know, I had my first surgery at 3 months. And I'm like, oh, that surgery didn't bother me. I'm fine. But there's a lot of stuff I'm really learning about myself and how I respond to my environment, on how I change my behavior. So, for example, my next-door neighbor's tree fell down in my yard. And it's their responsibility to pay for the tree, yet I'm having the hardest time saying, hey, your tree, I paid, owe me back. So the confrontation thing for me is so hard. And I realize that if I don't set boundaries and speak up for myself, where's that all going to go? Into my body, and I'm going to be like, oh, why does my back hurt? Why am I like upset about something totally unrelated to this? Well, you guys are looking at each other. Are we talking about something here? Am I speaking a chord? So in this book, he is coining the word psychoneuroimmunology. Psychoneuroimmunology, immunizing our psychoneurosystem. And he says it's the science of interaction of the mind and body, the insoluble unity of emotions and physiology in human development and throughout life in health and illness. That daunting, complicated word means simply that this discipline studies the way that the psyche, the mind, and its context of emotions profoundly interacts with the body's nervous system and how both of them in turn form an extensional link with our immune defenses. So how often do we get sick when there's a lot of stress going in our life? How often never. How often when the weight of the world is on our shoulders and all of a sudden our back is hurting? These are things we know, yet somehow we just keeps happening. And so I'm still working on this myself. How about a conversation with someone that they just really, I'll use my church words, makes you angry? Or I could use Reverend Mike's words. Anyway, so he goes on to say, interactions with other human beings, in particular emotional interactions, affect our biological functioning in a myriad and subtle ways almost every moment of our lives. I got that text from that guy I like, and all of a sudden I'm happy. I don't hear from them, and all of a sudden I'm sad. My friend says, oh, those shoes, I don't know about them. And then you're like, something's wrong with my shoe. In basic, simple conversations can spin us out. And I know I need to talk with my neighbor and say, I need to set a boundary. I paid for this. You need to reimburse me. They're important determinants of health, as understanding the intricate balance of relationships among our psychological dynamics, our emotional environment, and our physiology is crucial to our well-being. So what are we doing for our well-being? Who are we talking to? Most importantly, how are we talking to ourselves? This is nothing new. Even Plato writes in this is the reason why cure of so many diseases is unknown to the physicians of Hellas. They are ignorant of the whole. For this is the great error of our day in the treatment of the human body, that physicians separate the mind from the body. You cannot split mind from the body, said Socrates, nearly 2.5 millennia. 2.5 millennia. So this is nothing new, and this is what we talk about here. So I'm offering you, is there a hard conversation you have to have with someone, setting boundaries, expressing your truth? How are we talking to ourselves? And then if someone else talks to us in a certain way, do we just sit here and just let it go in? Can we put a psychic boundary around ourselves and protect ourselves, a psychic shield? So this is what I'm offering you today. So when you go out, let's really nurture and take care of ourselves. And it's as subtle as a simple conversation and saying, you know what? I had a friend say, why did you say that to me? I'm like, I don't know. And I go, I'm sorry. And she said, thank you. And I've done that to someone too. I'm like, really? I don't understand why. That doesn't resonate with me. Is this my truth? No, it's your truth that you're projecting on me. So this is really our opportunity to stand in our truth, because we are one with this divine light, love, energy, and we are perfect beings. We are divine beings having a human experience, and sometimes that human experience is messy. Let's all take a breath. But we are these divine beings, so we're just going to let that stuff go and stand in our truth and our power, and so it is.
Wow, thank you. Good morning, you guys. Hello. Let's hop into it. Here we go. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single line that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. You say I am yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say to me. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh. You say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. You say I'm held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I'm yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say to me. Oh, I believe. I believe. And you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. You say I'm held when I am falling short, and when I don't belong. Oh, you say I'm yours. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe what you say to me. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I think my psyche heard what Jason was going to sing today and made me change my talk. So I was just laughing the first service. So welcome, new faces, and those who haven't been here in a long time. It's so great to see you all. So let's wave to everyone. Say hi, no more hugs and handshakes. So we'll just wave to each other. Welcome to our center. Our announcements for today, August 6th, we have practitioners available for 2-minute tune-ups in the treatment room. Practitioners, raise your hands. That's you, Debbie, and Vinu also, our new practitioners in the room. So any one of us are happy to treat for you, whether good, bad, or just like a little hi, how's it going kind of treatment. And for those of you online, we have practitioners online too on our website, CSLGH.org. Youth Church is today and the third Sunday at 10:30. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Our adult program is happening today. Are the kids here? Yes, no? No kids. Chloe's here. Woohoo, adult program. After second service is our fall festival meeting, and we'll be meeting in Sparks Hall, I believe, right after second service. And Kathy's here, who is, raise your hand, Kathy. Any questions? And track down Kathy Theodore. And then tomorrow, I'm so excited. We are having a theater camp for the kids. We have 4 for sure, and I might have 4 or 5 more coming. So there's still room for some others. So those of you online, if you're thinking about it, it's such a reasonable price, $150 for the week. And we have Jenny, our other new practitioner, who's going to be facilitating it. So we would love for, just contact me or Jenny today, tomorrow morning. Contact Reverend Mike. Any one of us, if you have kids who you feel would love to be part of this, ages 6 to 14. So, and it's non-denominational. It's just a theater camp, nothing religious. So please come and join us. All right. Why don't we rise and we'll do our declaration of principles. This is what we believe here. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes his presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the giveness of life to all.
All right. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. All right, we're gonna tag it. My God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me.
Yeah. I got up this morning feeling caffeinated. Whoever you made the coffee today, good job. I'm feeling the Holy Spirit. Let me get myself organized here. That song got me so worked up. We don't even really need to talk now. So, isn't this a cool slide? This came down from the mothership, but unfortunately, I can't edit it with the date and so forth, but I love this graphic of the young man totally going for it. Yeah, so our being August, we have a new theme for the month, and our theme for the month is Awakening to Our Passion, Awakening to Your Passion. So this will be the topic of conversation over the next few weeks. And today we're going to be speaking to my passion, my purpose, sort of. And I think this is perfect. A perfect time to do it. It's a perfect exploration, particularly for this teaching of the science of mind and spirit. So before I get into all that, I do want to give a shout out to Andrea for doing such a nice job last week at the 9 o'clock service. And Dr. Maureen, of course, at the second service. And so some of you came back this week. So I hope you're not disappointed. And for Reverend Nikki for working at implementing, along with Ginny Fox, who's one of the folks back with our kids, but also has a background with teaching several years in LA Unified, teaching youth theater. So for years, I've wanted to have some kind of a summer program for youth at our center. Didn't really know how to do that, and voila, 2 people show up who knew how to do it and had the passion to bring it forth. So this idea of our kids' theater camp is a wonderful way, I think, to kick off this month's theme of my passion, my purpose, which, kids don't really need to be coached up on how to do that, right? They totally are into their passion and their purpose, which is anything they feel like doing right now, right? And somehow we get that deprogrammed out of us, right? Because, of course, we need to learn how to operate in the world socially and so forth. But, there's a way to be able to teach our children social norms without downloading a bunch of limitation and restrictions upon their spirit as well, right? And I don't know exactly how to do that, but you do, so that's all that matters. Okay, so... And our talk notes this month also come from Reverend Lisa Carson, who is a minister at CSL Thailand. So yes, we have a little outpost out there in Thailand. I think she splits her time between the States and Thailand, but isn't that cool? So she has, if you go on her Facebook page, you'll see photographs of the local locale, and she's a nice writer too. She says this about this month, that we all have within us a beautiful quality of joy and energy that makes us unique in the world, that we were born with it. And as we rediscover our childlike enthusiasm for life, we reveal our God-given passion, that this one life is exactly ours to do, and to do so less than wholeheartedly deprives the world of our best offerings. Deprives the world of our best offerings. Now, maybe we're not used to thinking about our life as a gift to the world. And if that seems foreign to you, I would encourage you to play around with that and to find ways that it can, in fact, be true, right? Because it is. Now, as many of you know, I like to think about, we talk about the power of our word here in this teaching, and I like to think about words, where they come from, the root of them, whether they come from Greek or Latin. A lot of words emerged probably because when we first, as in Western culture, really started writing things down in the 10th through 13th century. And so words then mean something different now. And that language has a way of falling in and out of usage, in and out of meaning, that words can mean different things. And so this can be helpful, particularly in this time of gender fluidity. I was thinking we can get some guidance from Ovaltine. So Ovaltine, wake up gay in the morning. Just try this before bedtime. So if you're looking for a little juice in your life, a little zest, try Ovaltine. So, yeah. So gay used to mean something different, but I don't know how it came into usage, but if you consider for a moment that there was a portion of our population who were living a lie, right? And we're finally able to shed that, right? And be honored and even rejoice that they're now set free from living that lie and can instead be their authentic and true self. That would make you feel pretty happy and gay, I should think. Yeah. So words change their meaning. And so I thought I'd go from happy to St. Francis. This is in our garden. That's native sage all around it. It's like totally overgrown this year. Because Francis was one of those Christian mystics who understood the universality of the Spirit permeating through all of life, permeating and expressing itself as nature and indeed as the human spirit itself. He was a bit of a firebrand in his day in this regard. For in his time, the church, of course, was very structured and was anchored in the notion of suffering, and that we suffered through this life, and that in order to gain access to heaven. So another word that has changed a bit over time is the word passion. Right? So in common usage today, maybe because there's a CSI every city now, it seems like every town has their own CSI show. So you have crimes of passion, you have passionate kisses, you have passion as a marketing scheme. But what does the word actually mean? Well, in the old days, so the obsolete use was connected to this idea of suffering, as in the Passion of the Christ, those days between the Last Supper to the resurrection. And I see all the Catholics kind of nodding their heads because they know this one well, right? But the definition of that is the state or capacity of being acted upon by external agents or forces, and the suffering that went along with that. Right? This idea of an atonement theology where we owe God, right, because of the notion of original sin. And yet today what we know is that there is, that the truth is that this notion of original sin was an invention, a human invention by Augustine to be specific. And so Father Richard Rohr, a Catholic friar and priest, encourages us to think of life as an original blessing, right? So to know that our souls are not marked with some dark aspect of the dark forces of life, calling you into ways of nastiness, but rather to understand that we are an expression of original blessing, that you and I are an emanation from the very heart of the living Spirit, so that it could have a greater expression of life, have a greater experience of its creation by setting all these little agents of free will upon the world, all 7.5 billion of them having their own experiences and an experience with the divine at the same time. So imagine you're an immortal being. That's a pretty clever idea, isn't it? Because it must get boring when you're immortal, right? Who'd want to just sit on a throne? Like, oh, it's just another day. Day 1,005,064, right? So why not? Why wouldn't you create agents of choice, each imbued with a tincture of yourself, so that you might experience all that we experience, for we are reflections of the divine. So if this is a new idea for you, I'd encourage you to consider that for a moment. So we're stepping away from this idea. So when you look up passion in the dictionary, getting back to the point at hand, that it has many different emanations of the word, finally getting down to emotion. So emotions as distinguished from reason. That also, finally, as the fifth offering within the definition of passion, we find ardent affection or love, as in, he had never felt such passion for any woman but her. Or the definition that we're going to be working with here, a strong liking or desire or devotion to some activity, object, or concept. So this is really what we're speaking to in modern usage, certainly around here. Because what we understand is that whatever is if we have something going on in our life that's less than optimal, that we're wanting to change, and to change for good, that we understand and know that there is a power greater than we are, that we are co-creating with, that our mind is a reflection of its mind, and as we think into it, it demonstrates its power and presence in this physical plane, bound only by our belief in it. So it's a huge claim. It's a huge claim. And how do we prove it? By using it. By using it. So we can prove it by belief, right? There's lots of spiritual systems. In fact, you could even say there are many systems of life, right? Our economic system is a belief system, right? It's a belief system. It's a construct that we have faith in, hopefully. So our spiritual systems work in the same way. So it is a big idea to think, to understand that we are both thinking into and with the infinite mind of the universal presence of the Most High. Hang whatever name on it you want. In fact, I would even encourage you that if you struggle with that idea in some kind of an agnostic way, well, I'm not quite sure. Dynamite. Just keep playing with it. Keep playing with it until you have an understanding that is uniquely your own, because it is uniquely your own understanding. So what do these different definitions tell us? I think, well, first, tying passion to physical suffering, that's an old idea, an obsolete idea. That Holmes himself wrote that the world is beginning to realize that it has learned all it can through suffering and pain. Right? And yet at the same time, so we see that intellectually go, yeah, that's right. And then we see what's going on in Ukraine or Sudan or Niger. Right? Or even in places within our own country, right, that we still see, maybe even within our own life. We see places where it appears suffering and pain are expressing. Holmes writes even then that perhaps they were good in their place, suffering and pain, perhaps they were good in their place. In other words, they served us to get us to where we are today, but now, no more. Because he says, surely there can be no power in the universe which wishes man or woman to be sick, to suffer pain, to be unhappy, and end up in the grave. And yet, in this human condition, we face all kinds of situations that have suffering seemingly attached to it. We can say we can change any condition through the use of mind. We say it every week. And it doesn't just magically happen. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. But most demonstrations of this teaching in my own life have taken a bit of focus. Right? Because in order to shift a behavior, we have to stop doing the particular thought or behavior that we're currently engaged in. Now, that's easy in some ways. So, for instance, if you don't buy cookies and bring them home, then you can't eat them at 8 o'clock. right? So that's kind of a simple one, right? We can remove a substance. But what if we raise the bar higher in the ways that Reverend Nikki was talking about, right? Someone says something hurtful or purposely allows a tree to crash into their yard, right? Because doesn't it feel like that? They're doing this to me, right? Now we've raised the bar. And I think we can all find instances where went right to the reactive aspect of this is happening to me. But we don't hang out there for long. We understand that, okay, I'm in victim consciousness right now. My point of power is right where I am. And so in this moment, I am knowing that the infinite power and presence of the Most High is expressing itself in, through, and as my life, in, through, and as in my thinking, in, through, and as my body, in, through, and as my heart, so that I can experience more of life in ways of connection, of strength, of power, that allow me to present a kind face to the world and a kind face to myself as well. But the world, of course, once it presents us with things, oftentimes, to pull us off of this, if we allow it to. So first, if you think about it, the first thing we need to do in this process is to reframe the condition within our own mind, to reframe it, and to make our mind and our emotions allies rather than foes. To make our mind and our emotions an ally rather than a foe. So I think about this, I'm going to talk about football for a moment because I actually saw there was a game on yesterday, so get ready, here it comes. But as an undersized person playing a very physical game, right? So I had no business being out there, right? And what I know about that looking back on it now is that I used anger to do really stupid things, right? Putting my body at risk rather than to really kind of step back and look around and go, I have no business being out here, right? But you get a pass when you're younger, right? So now sometimes when we start to live a life that has awareness and consciousness in it, we can look at the world of conditions and go, okay, time to reframe this. So we want to make them an ally of our mind, an ally of our emotions, particularly our emotions, for it is often our emotions that derail our reason. And with practice, we can also direct our emotion. Right? This is the work of Dr. Mate, right? That we have within us deeply locked in trauma, most of which we're not have any real awareness of because we have this wonderful mechanism that allows us to filter out some of that stuff, right? Until it backfires. It backfires on us, and it no longer serves us. So it can show up as disease, as emotional outbursts, right? How many of us have laid into somebody about something, and what was really bugging us had nothing to do with what we were getting on them about, right? So I wonder if disease manifests itself in the same way. So with practice, we can direct our emotion. At the same time, it's not enough to simply direct our reason. In fact, sometimes reason can get in the way, right? So because it is possible to reason our way right into a mental prison. Yes? So what does an imprisoned mind look like? Well, it has a lot of I can't language in it. I can't, I'm too old, I'm not educated, I'm too broke, too fat, too lazy, or I just don't know what to do next. But it's important to remember, as Holmes says, oh, I didn't know that slide was there. I'll come back to that one. So life is what we are to it. Somehow we must link our will, our thought, our intellect, our imagination, our feeling with the divine presence, which is where? Already here. And there's no somehow to it, right? The ancient Hebrews said it simply. Be still and know I am God. Be still and know. So, what to do? Well, I say, first we pray, and then we play. Right? First we pray, and then we play. If we're wanting to find passion, if we're wanting to cultivate passion, if we're wanting to find ways of sucking the very juice out of the marrow of life, we're going to have to find that strong liking or desire that we can put our devotion to some activity, object, or concept, such as we talked about earlier, a passion for music, dance, cooking, connection. So, if you're looking for a little juice in your life, then find ways to get out and play. And one of the best ways, for those of you who have young grandkids, nieces, nephews, or even kids next door, set up a play date with them, right? Don't have any grandkids? Go to the local playground, find a nice shady spot and watch and learn, right? Or maybe even really to relearn how to suspend reality. Learn how to be in the moment. Learn how to imagine all kinds of crazy stuff that's not attached to reality. You'll also witness kids learning how to regulate their emotions, right? So we're taught that the master teacher once said, bring your little children unto me. Maybe that's why he was looking for some new ideas. Who knows? So I found this from the American Academy of Pediatrics, that playing with children adds value not only for children but also caregivers, that adults can re-experience or reawaken the joy of their own childhood, reawaken the joy of their, in other words, your joy from your childhood is in there somewhere. Even if you had a crummy one, there are aspects of joy within there. To reawaken the joy of our own childhood and rejuvenate themselves. Play enables children and adults to be patiently and totally immersed in an activity of their choice. And that end is to experience intense joy. Also, it turns out grandparents or important adults can also shape the attitudes of children when it comes to physical activity in particular, right? That they legitimize an active lifestyle. Right? So if we find that our kids are stuck, or maybe we're both stuck, right? We're both playing our favorite games, maybe the answer is to get outside and play. So not a kid person, some aren't, that's okay. Go to a dog park. Observe. Dogs are so in the moment, and they work their stuff out in interesting ways. And if nothing else, these activities will certainly shift your mood. And let's face it, when we are feeling stuck, a mood shift is a great place to start. But we don't want to waste any experience of life. We want to suck the joy out of the very marrow of the bone of life, as Thoreau said. And spiritual community can be a great place to start the exploration as well. It's a place where we can practice getting out of ourselves so that we can then go out into the world and do the same thing, right? And if we want to find our passion, we must first commit to finding it, or more accurately, to allow it to reveal itself to us, and we are paying attention so much so that it's heard and received. So let's take a deep breath. When our energy flows, our vibration is raised. So let's use our kids. Let's find ways to connect with our youth. In fact, I would ask you to join me in knowing that our youth theater program this week is a joyful expression of life for both the kids and for our instructors. When our energy flows, our vibration is raised. The best we've ever felt is a result of this upliftment as the force moves through us with an unparalleled strength. So let's find ways to cultivate a sense of joy and connection, of creativity, of love, the courage to connect with it, the courage to express it in ways great and small. And come back next week and see how we did.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and talk to me now. And don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. And when the night falls on you, you don't know what to do, nothing you confess could make me love you less. I'll stand by you, I'll stand by you, won't let nobody hurt you, I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. And hey, what you got to hide, I get angry too. Well, I am alone like you. When you're standing at the crossroads and you don't know which path to choose, let me come along. And even when you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. And baby, even in your darkest hour, I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you.
So in this moment, we take a deep breath, allowing the very impulse of the creative impulse of life to immerse itself, to express itself in, through, and as our heart, in, through, and as our mind, as we make a commitment to ourselves to stand for life. So as we know in an engaged way that we are consciously choosing to participate in this thing called spiritual community. We at home, we stand. At home, we stand here. In the sanctuary, we stand. Go ahead, we stand. Grab the hand of the person next to you. Just know that we stand for you. We stand for you in ways of love. We stand for ways of you of knowing the truth of who you are. We stand in ways for you to know perfect health, an expression of creativity that is uniquely your own, that we have the courage of the numbers of faith, that as we stand together, we allow the full expression of life to make itself known in this moment.
When you're standing at the crossroads and you don't know which path to choose, just let me come along. 'Cause when you're wrong, I'll stand by you.
I stand by you.
I'll stand by you.
I stand by you.
I won't let nobody hurt you.
Won't let anyone hurt you.
I'll stand by you.
I stand by you.
Yeah, baby, even in your darkest hour, I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. Yeah. Very nice, you guys.
Patti Smith, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Patti Smith. Like the feminine Bob Dylan of our age, I would say.
Yeah.
So as we prepare our gifts for the offering, I'm going to ask Miss Chloe to bring our offering basket. If you've come prepared with an offering, just make your way as that basket is open. For those of you joining us online, if you could take a moment now and make your donation, that would be wonderful. As we do a couple verses of our offering song.
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So as we go within for a moment longer, recognizing and knowing that this basket represents two things, both the heart of the individual, the heart of this spiritual community, the heart, the generous heart of the individual who knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so we receive these gifts as the heart of this spiritual community with deep appreciation and love. As we know together, they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless this center and anyone connected to it in any way. And so from this place of gratitude, then, we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well, in some crazy, wonderfully cosmic, loving way, that the infinite power and presence of the Most High is making itself known. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts, propelling us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And let's acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. All right. So, I still have 4 minutes left. So I have 2 more pages. So let's give some love to Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
So nice to have you all. Nice to have you all joining us online as well. So make sure to put a little love in there for our musicians, Reverend Nicole, and for each other on the chat there on YouTube. So let's invite Reverend Nicole to pray us out, and we'll see you next week.
With a grateful heart, I say thank you for this wonderful service, knowing that we all go forward this week and we play. And I invite any of you who want to come and watch 15 4- to 7-year-olds play tennis in 90-degree heat. Please come and join me. I know that we're all healthy, happy, whole, and that we express our emotions, releasing them, and just knowing that we are love, we are divine beings having a human experience. And for that, I'm so grateful for each and every opportunity that comes forward in my life that just helps me grow and learn and just really connect more to my divinity. And I know we all go forward this week with expressions of happiness and joy and passion and play. And then we come back next week ready to hear more and wonderful news, and all those traveling go healthy and safely and return to hear more wonderful, wonderful words of wisdom. For this and so much more, I say thank you, and I just release and let go, knowing it is so. And together we say,
Please join me in singing the peace song. All right. Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as a power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Have a great day, you guys.